Imagine for a moment how wonderful it would be to step on the stage full of confidence, calmness, and focus. Or, for example, when you had to do a conversation with your colleague or a client, and you're so afraid to have this sales moment, but you actually go through it very effortlessly, smooth, and again, with calmness, focus, and confidence. Today's video is about accessing those emotions and those triggers. Hello, welcome to Efektas Group channel, where we break complex psychology into simple, everyday hacks and techniques. My name is Linus, I'm an NLP trainer, and today we are diving into NLP Toolkit, one of the most powerful techniques, anchoring. Anchoring is not for everybody. It's for those people who actually want to practice personal excellence. It's for those who want to have more emotional awareness in their everyday conversations or professional life. It's for those who want to have quick, easy access to the states and emotions that allow them to perform better in their presentations, negotiations, or everyday tasks. So every procrastination that you might have, every fear or anxiety or stress that you have towards different situations in your life, personal life or relationship or career, can change and be transformed instantly with anchoring. In today's video, I'm going to cover a few topics that are going to benefit you and actually walk you through them step by step to help you to understand how NLP and anchoring really works. First of all, we will go into how anchoring is being placed. Next is what types of anchors are there. Then, what are the key principles when you are placing the anchors on the triggers? And lastly, step-by-step guide how to achieve personal excellence with anchors, how to reach triggers which allow you to be confident, calm, focused, creative, and all the other great things that you can achieve with your emotions. Without further ado, let's dive in. Many of you might have heard the story about Pavlov's dogs. Scientist Ivan Pavlov, who trained his dogs to celebrate on the trigger. The way he achieved it was for several days. He was ringing the bell for his dogs and delivering the food for the lunch. After doing this for several days, on the last few days, he stopped delivering the food. He rang the bell and checked for the reaction of dogs. Dogs, in this case, were anticipating and expecting the food, therefore their involuntary body reaction was salivation. Now the keyword here was involuntary, because many internal responses are being triggered by external triggers, which in this case are three of them. The first one is what we see. What we see with our eyes, be it shapes, figures, icons, symbols, words, colors, locations, people. Many of us have seen people and we had this bad emotion with them or bad conversation, and when we see them the next time without even knowing or regardless of how much time had passed, we instantly feel that emotion about them, be it positive or negative in the situation. The next thing is what we hear with our ears, and that is music, that are sounds, that are rhythm and vibration. And many of us have our favorite music, which brings us to some wonderful places and arise great feelings. Some couples have their own songs, some athletes have their songs which empowers them, give them energy and boost. Some of us have our focus music, which we play when we work or do our specific tasks. This is something that many have discovered unconsciously, that for them it just works, but it's actually an anchor. It anchors specific emotions, and frequency is one of those things. The last one is the touch, what we feel with our skin, which is surface, shape, sharpness, material, temperature, And I think in this case, if we feel something hot, we instantly remember the last time we burned our hand or something else, right? When we touch something soft and warm, of course, it arrives as something pleasant. Maybe last experience with a dog or when you are cuddling small kitten. So these things, they bring us a response to our internal trigger that we feel with our senses. The next step is how to place the anchor. And for this, I'd like you to memorize in your mind this specific diagram where axis is intensity, how intense is emotion, whereas the bottom is the least, the highest, the upper is more intense. And we have a timeline. Now, the thing here is that every time we experience some kind of feeling or emotion, there's always a beginning and an end, and there's always the bottom and the peak. Many NLP practitioners and practitioners in general, psychologists, they actually make a mistake thinking or placing the anchor where it should be. What do you think is the right moment to place the trigger, the stimulus, to anchor your emotion, the state? Should it be in the beginning, the middle, the end? In the beginning, we're just starting to feel the emotion. Peak performance is when it's the strongest, and the end is when it is passing. And just guess, make your guess in the comments or just for yourself, where is the right place to place a trigger. Now, as me does the mistake here, I would like you to really remember, we place the trigger here, just before the peak of your emotion, because we still have a place to make it strong. The thing for the anchor is that emotion has to be strong. When it is in the beginning, it's not strong enough. When it is at the peak, it's already passing. And when it is at the end, we don't have energy. There is no stimulus. There is no feeling to anchor. So what we do, we put it here, so we have the whole time here to actually feel the emotion and create that neural pathway. So this is very important for you and for the others. But once you start feeling emotion getting stronger and stronger, just before the peak, you create stalls. Now the next thing is key principles. What are the key principles for you to consider when you're placing the anchor and when you're practicing NLP anchoring? The first one is intensity. This I'm covering it already. The anchor has to be placed almost before the peak of intensity of the emotion, be it laughter, confidence, focus, calmness, or creativity. When you feel it the most. The next one is the uniqueness of the anchor. Now this is very important because uniqueness of the anchor is something that is not so often replicated and can be done by you only. For example, if you do something like scratching your chin, you do it every day. By the time the same trigger will anchor the motor that you feel at that time, therefore the initial state that you anchor will fade away. So it has to be something unique. For example, you scratch the back of your ear, or you pin your ear, for example, right? Or you squeeze a fist, or you squeeze fist for 3 times. Something unique about the trigger, the anchor, that you wouldn't do every day or in any urban situation. So the anchor has to be unique. The next thing is timing, which I'm covering already. Not at the beginning, not at the end, and definitely not at the peak of the state. Try to catch the moment when it is just before the most intense moment, and then place the anchor. And last one, key principle, is replication. Your anchor has to be replicated, because if you can verify it once, you cannot call it back later, right? So it has to be something easy to achieve, something easy to do in every situation that you need to feel that state. The last moment of this video is the steps that you have to follow in order to place the anchor and have it working for you or for someone else efficiently. The first one is being specific. Specific is emotion or a feeling, the state that you want to feel in particular moment. Be it confidence, be it focus, calmness, or some attentive moment for you. Courage or sleepiness, anything that you might need in a particular situation. So be specific of what you want to elicit. The next thing is relive the experience. By reliving the experience, I mean that, let's say, you close your eyes and you relive that moment when you felt it strongest. So in this moment, you have VAK. VAK means visual alter, what you see, hear, or feel in that moment. For example, if I want to elicit calmness, I will remember the moment when I was the most calm. I will see what I saw in that moment. I will hear the sounds or sounds around me when I was most focused and calm, and then kinesthetic what I felt internally or externally with my hands or with my skin in that moment. So the stronger is the feeling, the better it is, and we try to make it as intense as possible. Then, once you find the peak, once you make it strong, a key hack here sometimes can be to make it even stronger. So you can make it 10 times stronger. And just before that, you set the anchor. Again, we have to choose what will be the anchor. You can be snapping the fingers, squeezing the fist, tapping on the shoulder, scratching or tapping, something unique only for you. You place the anchor while you have the emotion, right? It's not something that you do once. You do it while you are feeling the state. Then you break the state. What means breaking the state? Breaking the state is about shaking it off. Like we jump, shake it off. The idea is not to feel anything that has been before. So if you are neutral, you don't feel that great emotion that you felt before, you did great job. Next thing is test the anchor, meaning that you place the trigger, you scratch, you squeeze the finger, you test the anchor. If it elicits, if you feel that's the wonderful. If you don't feel it, you repeat, you're living the experience, finding the peak and setting the anchor. The more frequently you do it, the better it is. The stronger is the connection. And the last one is stacking the anchors. Stacking the anchors meaning that on the same trigger, we can add more feelings, we can add more states. For example, if you are going on the stage you want to be calm, you want to be confident, and you want to be attentive, right? 3 great states. And all of them, let's say you squeeze, and you keep squeezing, or you keep you're touching just somewhere besides you that many speakers are recommending, and just allow yourself to feel those emotions, to feel those states within yourself. And lastly, for those who stayed with me until the end, to sum up this video, I walked you through what are the types of anchors that you place, what is the process, why and how it works, key principles to keep in mind when you are placing the anchor, and steps to follow when you are placing the anchor. Now for the end, let me remind you why it is so beneficial. Every day in our life and situations, we have challenges. We cannot focus. We procrastinate. We are anxious about certain situations. We are afraid to present something. So anchoring allows us to access emotions and feelings to allow us to perform better, to achieve personal excellence and achieve more in our personal life, career, be better partner, be better professional, be better leader in our or someone else's life. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what states are most empowering for you, how it works for you to try these anchoring moments, and if you have questions that you want me to answer, the next videos will be about most frequently asked questions and mistakes about when we are placing anchors. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to share with your colleagues and teammates.